Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the Court of the EDI Jester. How are we all? Hello to my Jesterites. Thank you for joining. It's great to see you there. Nice conversations and various nonsense on the videos. Right, okay. So if you want to become a Jesterite, you can join now. Hey, 10p a day. That's all it costs. £3. Come and join. Then you get the videos up front. Because now, as I'm producing stuff, there's so much going on, folks, right? That as I'm producing stuff now, I'm just going to upload it and give it to the Jesterites. And then I'll just change when it goes out so that the public can get it. But bloody hell, is it me or is there an awfully large amount of things currently going on? I have also been told to watch my diction today by someone. Because when I said Hannibal Lecter, apparently the subtitles came up as anal lecture. And I haven't been doing any of that lately. Now listen. Anal lecture. I love it. But farting linguistics. Right, okay. So, become a warrior teacher, by the way. The advert's right now. We're recruiting for January. Come on, come and join the team. It's going to be great. I've got something from Spike today for you, from the rather marvellous Brendan O'Neill, who says it like it is. He don't hang around, do you, our Brendan? He goes, yes, I'm going to give it to him. And that's precisely what he's done today. So I've got this article from him, which we'll go through. It was out on the 31st of October. I think it's a very interesting article. It should promote a lot of conversation and debate amongst us, which is the whole damn point, frankly, isn't it? Are you paying attention? Can you tell I'm better? The cold is gone. Oh, rough. Right. So this is actually called the normalisation of savagery, and that's what Brendan has given us to work with today. The normalisation of savagery. Societies that give up on freedom will soon find it replaced by violence. Since the Hamas pogrom of the 7th of October, there's been a storm of commentary on how unhinged campus culture in the West has become. Politicians and writers are bewildered that at universities where it's a microaggression to ask someone where they are from, and where you can be subjected to a Salem-like grilling for wearing an offensive Halloween costume, actual genocidal violence doesn't seem to bother people. The same fresh-faced Maoists who will weep and stomp their feet if you say women don't have penises have collectively shrugged their shoulders over the mass murder of Jewish women and children. Some have even justified it. Glory to our martyrs, said a projection on the wall of a building at George Washington University. Touch an African-American student's hair and you're a white supremacist, but murder Jews in cold blood and you're a martyr. Wear your white people hair in cornrows and you're a racist thief, but invade a country with the express intention of killing Jews and you're the resistance. Serve up bad-tasting sushi as the cafeteria at hyper-woke Oberlin did a few years ago, and you'll be damned as a cultural appropriator. But kill hundreds of revelers at a peaceful festival in southern Israel, and the same kids who will wail over Japanese fare being served by white chefs will make excuses for you. Israel is entirely responsible for all unfolding violence in the Middle East, said student activists at Harvard before the bodies of 1,400 Israelis were cold. Our woke universities hold forth on every topic under the sun, said former Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse. Yet they're chilled out about the most grave, grotesque attacks on Jewish people since the Holocaust. College kids kick up a fuss about stupid things like microaggressions and gender pronouns. Yet they erm and ah, or worse, on the slaughter of innocent Israelis, says one columnist. When Jewish students at Cooper Union in the New York City had to be locked in the library to save them from a mob of pro-Palestinian activists, Robert Pondiscio of the American Enterprise Institute said, not another word ever about safe spaces, microaggression, or erosion on college campus. Not one more damned word. These angry critiques of the moral infants on our campuses are understandable. It is not only irritating but infuriating that youngsters who think misgendering is an act of violence are relaxed about literal violence. That these cloyingly sensitive sons and daughters of privilege will demand a safe space, complete with colouring books and dogs they can pet, when a controversial speaker darkens the door of their Ivy League college. Yet they don't seem to think Israeli Jews deserve a safe space from Hamas's neo-fascists. Wound their self-esteem? Sacrilege. Wound and kill unarmed Jews? Martyr shit. And yet it's important to say that this creepy sympathy for Hamas, this misanthropic disregard for the safety and dignity of Jews, doesn't actually contradict the ideology of the safe space. The woke set's cavalier attitude towards the macroaggression of massacring civilians is not really a break with their obsessive policing of the microaggression of hurting someone's feelings with a disagreeable idea. No, there is a logical line from the furious denunciation of certain forms of speech as violence to the implicit acceptance of actual violence if it is directed against bad people. That line is what we might call narcissistic savagery, where almost anything can be justified in the name of protecting one's beliefs and one's psychic sense of security from harm, censorship, harassment, even physical assault when the self and its emotional health is sacralized above all else, above every other moral and social consideration. Anything becomes permissible in its defence. What we have witnessed over the past few weeks is the latent violence in the ideology of the safe space. That safe space activists on the 21st century campus seem fine with one of the worst acts of violence of modern times is not proof that they've betrayed the principles of the safe space, but rather that the safe space lends itself incredibly well to intolerance, even of the murderous variety. A few years ago, I gave a talk at the University of California, Irvine, on the violence of the safe space. I argued that the most striking thing about safe space is how unsafe they feel. Yes, this new ideology justifies itself in the language of keeping students safe from intimidation, but in truth, safe spaces are ugly, authoritarian zones that are propped up by menace. I said, that's what he said, right? In the very act of promising protection from transgressive people, the safe space puts transgressive people in the crosshairs, exposing them to severe forms of both social and physical reprimand. Violence has long attended the campus cult of the safe space. People have been shamed, attacked, even subjected to assault by urine, all in the name of safety. All in the name of preserving the holy safe space from their malign moral influence. At UK universities, meetings of pro-Israel students have been invaded by student officials and leftists who essentially damn such gatherings as unsafe for Arab students and other ethnic minorities. These meetings of mostly Jewish students have been physically attacked, windows smashed, chairs thrown around. This is the terror of safety. In decreeing that such gatherings are unsafe, a threat to students' emotional well-being, campus ideologues greenlight extreme action against them. Now, that's the first half of the article. In fact, it's about the first quarter of the article. And I don't want to read anymore because I think you should go and read it. It's a very powerful article that raises serious questions about our culture and about the fact that we have pandered to a progressively rank and stupid totalitarian ideology that has garnered the young people. And I don't know how you get them out of that other than by saying you need to learn a lot more just to understand where you are. There are many young people who don't want this. There are many young people who want to be able to get on. There are many young people who want to be able to think for themselves. There are many young people who don't want to be dictated to by the EDI departments, by HR, by companies telling them what they cannot do and encouraging them to bring their whole self to work. This entire nonsense needs to end, and it needs to end quickly. And the easiest way to end it, from my perspective, is if you are asked to do anything in regards to EDI work, just say no. I know it's a risk. I know it. But how else are we going to do it? Oh, you'll be required to attend diverse... No, thank you. Oh, it's mandatory. No. We need to reject EDI, and we need to do it as a populace. We reject it en masse. No. EDI is now unfit for purpose. It doesn't matter how they gussy it up. It doesn't matter how they put it out there as being something good. It isn't. You have to watch out carefully. There was a company advertising some learning for schools the other day. It's only when you dug down that you found the crap. It's still there. They are not going to stop pushing this until we identify exactly what it is they're pushing and legislate it out of existence. That's my thinking. What Brendan has brought to us in this particular article today is a wide vista for exploration. That's so warrior teacher. Go explore. I'll see you later.